In today's video we'll be looking at the epic Warpath 2-player starter set, Battle for this box. Warpath was a game that was tacked onto the side, essentially, of Firefight First Edition. While Firefight First Edition wasn't bad, if you're playing something like Forge Fathers, you could just suppress your enemy to death, and very effective it was too. However, with Warpath, you couldn't really do that. You put 32mm models on these trays, similar to, say, King's War or Warhammer. It was 5 models to a tray, and you had to destroy a whole tray thing in one shooting, or did nothing. So really, games took way too long, and it just didn't work. Now they've decided at Mantic to make it 10mm scale, which is, I thought, alright, whatever. But looking through the rules and whatnot, I don't think it's too bad. I've not had a game yet, mainly because I want to paint the stuff up. But you do get a fair bit, even though they are 10mm. You get a fair bit. You get 6 sprues of each army. It's Plague versus Enforcers, so 6 sprues of Enforcers, 6 sprues of Plague. Each sprue's the same, but you do have a bit of customizability when it comes to how many commanders you want to build and what weapons you want to give vehicles, mainly on the Enforcer side. Well, actually, the Plague Striders, you have got choice of weaponry. Other than that, there's not really any options, which you might think, I really wish I could have like a heavy weapon on my troop squad. I don't know how other epic scale games, which are like 5 to 10mm scale, that sort of thing, I don't know how others work, but for this sort of game, giving weapon options and the like, it's just going to make things too busy. Keep it simple as possible, and I think from what I've heard, Mantic do that. So, taking a look at the outer box, because it's mainly a sleeve really, command a vast army of aliens and humankind on distant worlds in this epic sci-fi war game. This amazing 2-player set contains all the rules, tokens and dice you need, along with 2 stunning plastic armies. Choose from it to play as either the Enforcers, mankind's best and most elite soldiers, or the infectious and horrifying alien Plague, and vie for supremacy on the battlefields of Farovox. Pass. This set contains over 190 plastic Enforcer army models, over 250 plastic Plague army models. Right, so before I go any further, when it means by that is, I'll just show you what it means there. It means every single 10mm model, so yes, so each one on one of them bases, they're counting as a model, which in fairness they are, so okay, yeah. Bases, rulebook, tokens and templates, dice. So you do need a tape measure for this game. I think the longest range in the game is 36 inch. And you also get all of this. And these are the models, these tank things are the ones where you get options for different turrets. Where's the commanders? Yeah, the commanders here. No, they're not the commanders. Where's the commanders? Are they the commanders? Oh, yeah, they are. So they're the commanders. You don't have to build that many commanders if you don't want, but you can. You could have them as a different sort of unit, I suppose. Likewise, on the Plague, you've got these Striders, which you can either build like that or like that. And then you've got the commanders here. You don't necessarily need to build that many, but you can. First off, if you pre-ordered anything, well, the 2-player starter set and I think some other bits, I think you can get this separate, I do believe, is the it's an anthology book of different stories. I think there's 3 different stories in here. I think it's 10 or 12 quid. I think, don't quote me on that. I think it might be between 8 and 12. Anyway, so yeah, there are 5 different short stories, and how many pages is it? 156. So yeah, the size is a bit different. It's not the normal novel size. It's a bit wider actually, which is a bit different, but it might make it easier to actually hold the book and read it properly, sort of thing. So that's going to be a nice read at some point. So next up is the Rulebook, which will get its own video because you can buy it separately. It is 30 quid and comes with the token sheet and this. The set itself, which includes all the models here and the rulebook, is 110. So you're basically getting the 2 starter forces for the Plague, for the Enforcers, the dice, which are £12.50, and the book, which is, like I say, 30. So you are saving a little bit when buying it separate. I think it's 70, 140, it's about £182, something around there. So you are saving about 70 quid. The rule book's pretty decently laid out, and it also does something which Mantic don't do a lot of, which I'm hoping they're going to do in the future with, say, Kings of War 4th edition. They have a quick reference sheet on the back, which I think it's very nicely done. There's a fair bit of background in here. They do reuse a lot of old artwork from their other sci-fi war games, which is fair enough, but I'm fairly sure that's new. It does feel like some of the artists are getting now for this book and and the newest things look like the same artist they get for Kings of War, which I've got no complaints of that, because I think the Kings of War artists are very good. So what you get a quick blurb, get welcome to Epic Warpath, what you need, including this dice, which is very reminiscent for old school 40k players. An army composition, a nice background page there, well, a nice spread of the of 2 armies. So in this case it's Forge Fathers and Asterians. Getting started, so unit profiles on this page and what things mean, like line of sight and the like, and then it goes over the rounds and phases, shooting, movement, you know, all the regular stuff. Blast weapons, they look quite fun. Another page of the armed composition, how terrain works, which it's very interesting how they've done it and how buildings work. I think a lot of war games could take inspiration from how they've done buildings and the like. It's basically each square of a building you can put 3 bases in. So if a building's like a 2x2 square block, then you can put 12 bases in it. 12 bases in. So usually that's 2 units worth, because mostly units are in unit sizes of 6, whereas some cases the unit size of 3, but they're mainly like vehicles and the like. Goes over flyers, vehicles, keywords. Ooh, I just zoomed back because I think the camera did not show it. I mean, I like the pictures they've done. The picture shots are quite nice. Like, that's one of my favourite picture shots. Shows how vehicles, well, flyers have got a arc on them. I don't think vehicles have they? Could be wrong, but I don't think so. I'll have to look into it. So, like I say, it goes on to keywords, scenarios, which I haven't had much of a look into. Says how reserves work, recon rolls, fog of war if you want to use that. Then it goes on to building an army, which is interesting. You are basically building multiple armies, and they're called companies, so you can make multiple companies. Each company you need to have at least 1 HQ and 2 troops, and then you can have can you have as many troops? Alright, okay, so you can have essentially 4 troops. For each troop you get a specialist, and for each mix of troop and specialist you get support. You can take 1 transport unit. Oh yeah, you can take 1 transport unit for any unit in your company. In this force you are more than likely gonna be either making 1 company of 2,000 points or 2 companies of 1,000 points each. So there's a way there. And for each company you can have 1 super heavy, which are the big models on like 80 or 100mm bases. So yeah, the army, how you're putting armies together is fairly easy to do. Then it goes on to the army list. Oh, you can also buy stratagems. 40k players, don't worry, this is not like that. It's basically you pay points for it, like building an army, and that's it. I think you can only buy each battlefield stratagem option can only be selected in an army once. All battlefield stratagems are single use, right? So once you've bought them, it's a case of when do you want to use them. There is one for extra command dice, but you can only get each one once. So if you want to get a black one, an orange one and a green one, that is 30 points, which okay, gives you more options, but you only get 1 commander for each company, so yeah, just be careful of that. Then it goes on to army building, starting with the Asterians. So you can see that's how the layout of each, the stats and everything for each unit is. That's always been a nice picture, but I've no idea. I've never had a clue why the corruption's got a sword. Never understood that. At the start of each army you get a bit of background, which is nice. I always like to see that. Each army's got a army nerve value, which is the nerve value for each unit. So each unit's not got its own nerve value. It's just a case of what's the nerve of the army, and if you need to take a nerve test for that unit, look at that. Each unit's got each army, has got its own special rules, and each army's got 3 commands. There are also 3 basic commands that everyone can use, but each army's got 3. So there we go there. That, I believe, is either from late 1st edition of Dead Zone, or it might be Firefight 1st edition. I can't remember. It might be Dead Zone, actually. So the layout of the army side of it is a bit background. Then it goes on to the orders and the rule, and then it goes on to the troops, the specialists, the support, the transport, the HQs, and then the super heavies. Each army's got 2 super heavies, and then at least 1 in each other section. So then on to GCPS once you've done with Forge Fathers. Then on to Marauders, which are greenskins. There's only there's actually 2 transports for the Marauders, but one of them's actually in the support because it does work as a support option as well. Then it goes on to the Nameless, which I've said in my Dead Zone videos are crusading Cthulhus with guns, and I do mean crusading in the term of like the Templar Knights with the red and white and silver armour, and Cthulhu as in Cthulhu. So yeah, that's from 2nd edition Dead Zone, when they were doing the containment protocol books, and that's always been a nice bit of artwork there. Then it goes on to the Plague. Then it goes on to the vermin, which are space rat people. That's fairly nice. It's some GCPS monocycles running away from a what are they called? Rumblers. That's it. And you'd have thought Rumblers are actually support. No, they're specialists in this. And then it goes on to the background, which this picture is very nice. This is new. This picture is. A lot of the pictures aren't new, such as this and the ones on the opposite page. This is from the Farfight redo book cover. I'll see if I can find anything new. This is a new piece of art, and I'll just zoom out because look at the scale of it. Just look at the thing. And I'll zoom in. Look at that. This picture's new. They are actually Marauder vehicles, if you can believe it. Then it go, and that's also their nameless creatures. And yeah, so that's one of the super heavies for the GCPS. So it's like a big walker, something looks like something from like BattleTech, and that's one of the super heavies for the I think, yeah, it's for the vermin, because you can tell, because at the bottom you can see some vermin here. That is like a big tunnelling structure that comes up from the floor, and units can arrive from it. And that's just a big robot. And the reason why this too is obviously it's built two companies. And as you can see at the bottom there, that soldier is looking a bit worse for wear, but he's still wanting to actually get in there. And as you can see there, someone's getting into close combat with a vermin. The artwork wasn't bad before, but this is a vast improvement from before, and it's really good. This is Plague and Asterians. I have no idea what that is. That thing there, I've got no idea what that is whatsoever. It's some sort of plague thing, but apart from that, not a clue. A bit more of background, as you can see. Yeah, again, another new picture. Mainly Forge Fathers, so you've got, yes, you have heavy armoured dwarves with jetpacks that drop down like mini drop pods. In Dead Zone, they are really fun. They actually are fun in Farfight, actually really fun. And then some more background stuff. A lot of pages of it, and then this is a nice picture of one of the super heavy, the GCPS super heavy in a hangar, and then the old Dead Zone 2nd edition box and rulebook cover. A bit more here, and then I don't know if this is in the Farfight book, but it kind of looks familiar. And I mean, they've been doing a lot of pictures of what the spacecraft would look like for various factions, so I mean, it's probably not possible in the next couple of years, but it's feasible for Mantic to do their own space game. Don't do it based on the rules for Armada, because there's certain rules in Armada that I really don't like, and take away from the simplicity of Mantic stuff. And then we come on to the quick guide stuff, which is really helpful, and for line of sight as well, which I don't think many people actually do. Quick reference thing, and also the 3 basic orders, and then also a picture of the inside cover of the rulebook. Just the bits that you can't see, and like here as well, that you can't actually see. So there's all this lovely plastic, which we will look at later, because it's the most important bit. So get these bits over first. The tokens, I've not got them out, but these are things like wounds, objectives, what else? Blast template, which considering how small stuff is pretty big. What are these? These are what tokens you're putting down next to each unit, because how it works is there are 3 different token types, and for the most part you put them face down so your opponent doesn't know what tokens you're putting down. Do you want them to be on Overwatch? Do you want them advanced? Do you want them to sprint? And it could mean if a unit sprints, it means your opponent's got nothing to shoot at then. So things like that. There's also pin markers, which are very important. Pinning's a big thing in this game, and there's 3 sheets. Yeah, 3 sheets of tokens. You get this with the rulebook. Next up are these bases, which the Mantic 25mm round ones. So these are mainly for the vehicles, so the ones that are tracked and wheeled go on this side. The ones that have got like little hover stand things and these striders go on this side. So the hover bit goes in the middle, or the strider actually fits on the middle. And there you go, you get 2 lots of 10 of these, so you get 30 of these. Next up are the command dice, which are the same ones as you use for Firefight and King's War for now, although they are different colours, and some other games, although they are different colours. Yeah, these are pretty nice looking. I like the colours of these, like the orange, the green and the blacks. Very, very eye-catching. You also get one of these special D8s, which are more for scattering. So how it works is you roll a dice, and where the point is, this means it's on target, I believe. This is the scatter, so the point at the top is where the scattering is, and that is how many inches it scatters. So you've got 3 inch, you've got 5 inch, wow, I didn't notice that, 4 inch, have you got a 2 inch? Wow, you've got a 6 inch even. So it's from 3 to 6 inch, or it's on target. It's a nice colour as well, a nice deep yellow. You also get a lot of these bases. Now these are slightly bigger than the 25mm bases, they're probably like 27mm. Now these are for the infantry, and if you notice you've got 2 lots. Now it's not 2 lots, they're in fact double-sided, so you've got like 2 bits on one side and 4 on the other. The reason being is you've got most of the infantry, you've put 4 of the models on, and like the elite infantry or the commanders, you put 2 of them on, and these hard plastic as well. Yeah, it's going to be nice putting units on these. It's very different. And then we come on to the most important, and I think the most fun bit, the sprues. So you get 6 Enforcer ones, which are all the same, and 6 Plague ones, which are all the same. So starting with the Enforcer ones, you get a load of different turrets. This turret, if I just zoom in, this specific turret, you only get 1 per sprue, so you can only make 2 squads of the tank with this turret, because vehicles are in squads of 3. Sometimes with the Asterians, because the vehicles are actually bigger, you only get them in squads of 2 for some of the Asterian vehicles, and actually I think with some of the flies you only get them in squads of 2 as well. But most vehicles you get them in squads of 3, and just zooming on the detail of the vehicles. The vehicles are very nicely done. Very nicely done. This is the underside actually, because that's where the hover nub goes, and this is the hover nub, so this will fit on to one of the 25mm bases. And I don't know if it's picking up the camera from this range, but I'll zoom in, but I think the detail is very clear. The infantry do not look like morph, which has always been my problem with this scale. I've never liked how the infantry look. They just look so bad. But looking at these, I mean, it's about the size of my thumbnail. So that's an assault enforcer. That's an assault enforcer. So there's about 2 posers per unit. So I'll just go off here. So you get some peacekeepers as well. So there's 2 posers of peacekeeper. The jet bikes are in 2 pieces. That's the front top half of the jet bike. Where's the other bit of the jet bike? Yeah, that's what the jet bike is. So these you get 2 per base to put on. I mean, the detail's fantastic at this small scale. It's really impressive. So I'll flip it over. So these where the turrets go in. Oh no, these are the bottoms actually. So they're the top. So they're the top. Of course they are. They've got more detail they can see. So yeah, the turrets go in here, and then these bits, the nubs, go in here. There we see. Ooh. Careful camera, calm down. So I don't know if it's picking up properly. Will it pick up properly? Something like. I hope you can see how well the detail's picking up on here. And yeah, see, so with the missile launcher you've got them crouching, and also missile launchers standing up. You've got a commander, and then that could be like another command option. So you get one of each of the commanders on each sprue. So you know, you could have the extra commanders as actual unit leaders, potentially. And apart from the vehicles, everything is one piece, so you don't need to build any part of the infantry. And I'll just see if the blade is thin. I mean, it's not wobbly. I mean, it's thin for what it is, but it's still got a bit of thickness to it. So unless you really force it, it won't break. So that's what the jet bike looks like. So as you can see, a fair amount of detail for what it is. That's the turret for the transport option of the tanks. So yeah, it's a very nice sprue. Got a lot of stuff on it. On to the plague now, and this is very different. You get a lot of zombies, a hell of a lot of zombies actually. You get some ghouls, which are like the basic infantry. The zombies are really pathetic, but you get a lot of them in number. When I say most units are in units of 3 or 6, zombies are in units of 9. So yeah, you can swarm your enemies with these. You get 2 mules per sprue, so that's the top half, that's the bottom half. You also get a artillery piece, so that's, I think, is that the bottom or the top? That's the top. That's the cannon of the artillery, so that's, are you going to focus at all? Oh no, that's the arm of Strider. So that's the cannon of it. That's the size of a infantryman, of a zombie. As you can see, that's the size of my thumbnail. So yeah, they're bursters, so like full of infected mucus and whatnot. Not very nice. That is a leaper, so you get 2 of them per sprue. They're all zombies. That's the turret thing for the mule. These are, I'm looking. These are the underside of the inner side of the track, and you get there. You get 1 Strider per sprue. This is the plague commander, and as you can see, they've actually moulded a flat cap on him. And yeah, the amount of detail they've put on these is fantastic. You get a squad with HMGs, which is very nice. So the plague anti-armor gun, as it were. So I'll just flip this over so you can see what's on the other side. I mean, you'll need a good magnifying glass to paint the detail on the infantry, but the vehicles ain't going to take much magnification, and they're going to paint up pretty nicely. Very nice. So this has been what's in the Epic Warpath 2-player set. I think it's pretty decent value, although I think some people could be put off by the price because it's over 100 quid. But the detail of the models, what you get in it, I think it's pretty decent, to be honest. It's not a light box either. There's some weight to it. Like I said, each starter set, which is essentially what you get the Plague starter, and the Enforcer starter is 70 quid. You do get reinforcement sets for each army, and they are between 60 and 80 depending on which faction. Unfortunately, they are resin models, all of them, so yeah, you are going to have to deal with resin, which I know some people don't like dealing with. And some of them are infantry, so you're going to have to deal with 10mm infantry resin. So I don't think it'll bother me too much, but I can understand how it bothers some people. The super heavies are 25 quid, and they are in resin also, but they are a hell of a lot bigger, being on between 80 and 100mm bases each. At the minute, the factions that are out are Plague, Enforcers, Starians and Forgefathers. Everything's out for them apart from the second super heavy, so each one's got a super heavy, and reinforcement pack and a starter set each. The ones upcoming as the time of recording are the GCPS, again with one super heavy at the minute, and the Nameless, again with one super heavy at the minute. The only two forces that are coming next year, the other ones coming next year, are the Marauders and the Veermen. And then probably next year as well are the rest of the super heavies, and probably some more buildings. There's a big terrain pack, and I've also already put a video for the small terrain pack. So yeah, that's what you get in the box. I will be doing some more videos on this, but when, we shall see. So thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.